Hello, everyone, and welcome into Talking Preps, presented by Mascot Media. I'm Blair Cartwright, pleased to be joined by Kele Luigs, who is the new head volleyball coach at Fayetteville High School.
Yeah,
Like the way that sounds, right, Kelly? How
I
are
do
you?
too. I do too. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Here in
Awesome.
here in New York City, on the corner of 37th and
Oh,
10th.
nice.
Yeah, daughter's doing a little stage thing for Broadway, so got to
Okay, that's fun.
got to tag along. You've been uh, traveling this summer with being a mom and a coach, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a busy summer with all the kiddos and then all the big Fayetteville kiddos too. So,
Yeah, and now, first time being a head coach, what's been different so far? Because you've been an assistant before, but now
yeah.
you're in the big chair. Have you noticed, some things that are immediately different that you've had to adjust to?
Yeah, I mean, I think before this year even, Jess and we'd kind of gotten to a point where, I mean, we just worked really well together, both volleyball, but then, I mean, granted, she did majority of everything and all the planning, but, um, there were times that we were able to like bounce ideas and stuff off of each other. And then eventually got to where maybe there was a little bit more given on my end on planning and stuff. Obviously that's completely different now because now it's all on my end. And so that's probably been the biggest thing. I don't know so much volleyball wise. That's kind of, I mean, that's planning and that's kind of part of the job and is expected, for me. It's kind of the little things, all the camp things, maybe not even just Fayetteville volleyball, but we're trying to be more involved with our junior highs. And so just taking on more there with making sure that, they're kind of following the same expectations and what we want in a Fayetteville volley dog. So I would say just the little housekeeping things.
No.
There's been a lot more of that.
Yes, and because of that, I'm sure changed your role as a mom and wife.
Yeah.
Has that been a bit of an adjustment, or has it been pretty smooth?
Yeah. One of the things Jess really did try to, I guess, teach and then mentor through at my early stages at Fayetteville even was trying to find that balance of being a mom and a coach. And that's kind of something, I mean, granted, there's never going to really be a balance. Something's always, you're going to take from one area all the time. But I've tried to keep that as a priority, like my family, and then the volley dogs a little bit, and then sometimes vice versa. So we've kind of tried to plan it there, but I mean, there are times that, school volleyball has just taken a little bit more right now, but thankfully I have a husband who kind of understands the life of sports. And so he just fills in and, takes that. Kinsey went to Louisville volleyball camp and it was first day for us, media day. So I was with my big girls and he was with Kinsey and everything else just kind of gets held down. The kids know it. It's just kind of our way of life.
Nice. So have
Yeah.
practices begun? Because the season's just around the corner.
Yeah. So we actually did a couple open gym days in June, which was really great. We've never done that before. So we had a really good turnout for that. And then we started July 6th was media day, July 7th was practice. And so we've kind of been going at least 4 days a week with that. And we've had a couple play days in there. And then we took the varsity JV crew to SMU this past week. So we kind of hit it heavy, which, all the kids knew and everybody's excited. So we'll hit it this week again and have a couple days off. And then August is really go time.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got school
Yeah.
starting, your season start. I mean, that's a lot
Yeah.
going on.
It is.
I mean, that's plus, the kids are trying to get adjusted. Man, I mean, and then it's like, boom, the season's over before you know it. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what are some of the challenges in starting a season so early in the school year?
Yeah, I mean, I really think as far as volleyball goes, the girls are always so excited to get back in the gym. And like, even with school, nobody wants to start school, but then again, they're also excited to start school and be with their friends. So I think, the biggest adjustment is that July time, wanting the kids in the gym, but understanding they're still kids and giving them the opportunity. Most of ours will show up, but then also having the grace and the opportunity to still go on vacations, do things with family. We have a whole bunch of kids that play club volleyball. And that being said, they go to nationals. Nationals ends usually right before we start. And so it's just kind of giving them the grace to, you're expected to be at volleyball, but then also you're expected to be a 14, 15, 16-year-old and take that time with family. And I think by just having that standard of giving that and understanding it, nobody really takes advantage of it. They take some family time, but then they're there to be part and be with us as much as they can.
You're taking over for someone who we both know well, Jessica
Yeah.
Freeland, who has done phenomenal things.
Yeah.
Some big shoes to fill. Any
Absolutely.
apprehension about when you decided to throw your name into the hat about, because you know what they always say, you don't want to be the one to follow the legend and all that, but
Yeah.
I mean, was there any apprehension, or was you were like, man, I mean, this is, you know, the system, you know, the girls, you know, the way
Yeah.
it works, familiarity, I can do this.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There was a little bit. I mean, it's Jessica. Not only is she somebody in the coaching world that has been a mentor and somebody to look up to, but I mean, going back to Arkansas days, like it was always Jess, like always Jess. And so there's just a way about her that you respect her. And then you want to do well for the kids, but you also want to do well and uphold what she's done and the tradition she's started. But I think the biggest thing for me was hearing from her, like when she decided what she wanted to do, and she was like, "This is what I want." Like I knew I had full support of Jessica, and so I think that's kind of what gave me the boost to be like, okay, like at the end of the day, it's volleyball. I mean, I couldn't have had a better mentor, and like,
So until we got disconnected, because the internet is not an infinite source,
yeah,
you talked about how important it was to have Jess's support and everything. So how do you approach making the changes that you want to do
yeah.
as opposed to the way that things have been done? How do you handle that? Because that seems like that could get kind of tricky, or maybe not. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. I mean, actually, it hasn't been awful. It hasn't necessarily been hard. And I think the key part there is that, I mean, this will be my 10th year with Fayetteville Volleyball. So, I mean, fortunately for me, I'm not coming in trying to rebuild a program. I mean, we were in great spot when Jess left. And the girls know that, and we had a great culture about it. And I think they know what Jess is to me also. And so there's anything that is changed or anything that we want to put our own spin to, like they know it's not out of spite or hate or anything other than just adding a little bit of a different twist to it. Whereas if I was brand new and didn't know the tradition of Fayetteville volleyball, or I just didn't have that connection, I think it would be much more difficult. But they've been great. The girls they were excited. I mean, it's kind of been everybody just kind of welcomed each other.
Awesome. Wow,
Yeah.
10 years. I can't believe it's already been 10 years that you've been at
I
Fayetteville.
know.
How
I
did you
know.
get started in coaching? How did that come about?
Yeah. So after Arkansas, we left, went to Cincinnati for a little bit. Jonathan played football. And then we moved back here when he was done playing for Cincinnati. And, it's kind of all been connections is the way it's worked out. Brett and Jody Unger have always been close friends, and they were close friends when we moved back. And they were at Harbor, and that kind of, helped get my foot in the door at Harbor. And then I was there for a little while coaching. And then we had our second kiddo during that time. And at that time, we had a crazy home schedule. And so coaching and new babies just it wasn't really working out. So I decided to get out of coaching and took just a year of where I was teaching. And in that year is when Jessica called and was like, we're going to have a spot. Not really sure at that time, sophomore, ninth grade, whatever it was. Would you be interested? And my first hesitation was, I have two kids. And that has to kind of be a priority. And I don't think at that time, and I mean, throughout the rest of my coaching career, it couldn't have been anybody better. Cause like I said earlier, she got it. I mean, she knows she can do the parent thing and the coaching thing. And that's what she said too. She was like, you're coming to a place that we value that. And so that was kind of it. Like I came to be with Jess, and the rest is kind of history then at Fayetteville.
Nice. Now, but as far as becoming a coach, because I don't
Yeah.
think when you were at Arkansas that was even on your mind, was it?
Yeah. No, so I didn't really know. I knew, so when I was really young, I was coaching volleyball. That's what I was going to do.
Okay.
I was going to coach volleyball. And then got into college. And at that time, actually, strength and conditioning was really something I was interested in. And I thought that was really the route that I was going to go. I think I had done volleyball for so long that I wasn't sure if I didn't really know where volleyball fit after that. And then when I was away from the game for a little bit is when I was kind of like, I think I do kind of miss it. And then it was kind of just getting back in at Harbor. I knew I wanted to teach. At that time, PE was kind of the thing that I wanted to do. And so I would say that first year at Harbor was kind of like falling in love with the game again, if you will. I knew I loved the game, but I didn't really know where it was going to stand for me long term. And then just getting back into it, and more than anything, the athletes is kind of where it all started from there. And then, I would find myself in spots like the year I took off. I was at Kirksey. Kirksey had a really great volleyball program. And I found myself in the gym. Like, I was teaching, I wasn't coaching. But at the end of the day, I found myself in the gym with the Kirksey girls, and Lee Van Allen was the coach, and, trying to find my way back into it. So I think it just has always kind of been a calling and has always drawn me back to it.
You think the year off really helped and was a good idea, and maybe something that most people don't do, because, you see a lot of people go straight from playing into coaching. But having that year off kind of helps, doesn't it? Kind of get you reset and let you get your feet on the ground?
Yeah, I think it was huge. I guess it was probably 2 or 3 years, honestly, after I was done playing before I truly got back into coaching. And so that was a really good break, just to kind of like, in college, it's volleyball. And I think just kind of like a break to experience some other things and then come back. And then I think the year off, even between Harbor and Fayetteville, was great because, I got to be a mom to 2 and try to navigate that life. And it kind of like, I feel like helped me reset, in that aspect. And then it was easier to tackle the rest going forward.
What do you like to do to get away from, it's kind of tough to do as a mom and a wife, but you've got to have, you've got to have that kind of release. What do you do to just kind of relax?
Yeah, so we're kind of homebodies. My whole family, really, our whole crew, and we live a life of volleyball, not just at school. Kenzie and Claire are both pretty involved in volleyball, and then Knox is starting stuff. So, like, in a way, our downtime is also sports. So we'll travel for that and try to find fun things to do. But then just watching them is also. I know it's still volleyball, but it's still a little different. And then really we love our weekends at home. Like, we try to protect that as much as we can. And we'll have people it's our happy place. We love having people over here, but really just kind of being lazy doesn't happen very often. And it's really hard to do. Like, even at home, we find something to do, but just trying to make ourselves slow down and just enjoy the time here.
You mentioned Kenzie's playing volleyball. You played volleyball.
Yeah.
You're coaching volleyball.
Yeah.
Can that get tricky? Being coach / mom, that's not easy.
Yeah, I think it's not. And the first year, let's see, probably her maybe second year of club is when I coached her team, and it was a learning experience for both of us. I had to learn how to be coach mom, but also mom coach at times, and like how she competes versus how I compete. And so that was just different. And over the years, we've both grown. But like, I think it's been more of a growing thing for me because it kind of all puts it in perspective too. When I look back, I don't want Kenzie to just think about, volleyball has been some of our happiest moments, not on the court, but just with people we share it with and as a family. But, the other day I was telling Jonathan, I was like, I'm kind of in a panic. Like, her years are running out, and then it's Claire. And I don't want her to look back and just, is volleyball all we ever talked about? And so we really tried to slow down there too. And when it's volleyball time on the court with her, and she's treated as any other player. And then off the court, just kind of take a step back. And if she wants to talk about it, we talk about it. If not, we kind of just let it go, and then go from there.
Nice. And you've got a great support group of coaches at Fayetteville High School as well. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that is a tremendous help.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're amazing. I'm probably the worst delegator right now. That's something I know about myself. But also kind of just right now, I'm in the space where I feel like I need my hands on it this first time. And then from there, it'll be easier to delegate as we go. But, they couldn't be any better. Like, they're so patient with the process too. We've had to talk about, well, this is what we need to do, the little things. And then the other day I was like, listen, I know there are things that are going to pop up that I just didn't expect. And so I may be asking for stuff last minute, but we'll learn from there and, make it better from there.
Is that the biggest thing you have to learn is delegating? Because
oh my
as
gosh,
the assistant, you're used to, you're doing it. Whereas the head coach, you got to delegate it. I'm sure that's not a simple transition.
Yeah. We sat in a thing at SMU. It was a coaches roundtable. And, I was giggling because there was another head coach and assistant coach there. And then me, and then my assistant who, last year we were assistants together. And so it was just that step, and they were talking about delegating, and we giggle because I'm very open about it. Like, we know it's a hard thing for me to let go of it. But yeah, you're so used to doing it all that now you're trying to figure out like who is better at what, and you already kind of know, but still trying to learn it. Like for me, learn new things too. So that hands down has been the most difficult part.
As we're about to run out of time, what's the thing that excites you most about your volleyball team for the upcoming season?
Oh gosh, these kids are hungry. They're a young group, but they had a little taste of success last year, meaning getting to that final game. And they're competitive and they're ready to go, and they're ready for new. Like, they're ready to build something, just add to something special at Fayetteville.
Well, they've got a special individual coaching them, and they're lucky to have you, and we wish you nothing but success, and thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.